and said, take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you. This is in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup, and when he had supped, saying, this cup is New Testament in my blood. This do ye, as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily, and shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. But let every man examine himself, and let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. In verse 32, and when we are, back up. In verse 30, for this cause are many weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. What the Lord was telling me for this communion day is for us to examine ourselves. Now, he was telling me if I examine myself the way I examine others, most of the time I think we examine others and scan ourselves. But if we judge ourselves and examine ourselves before the Lord, then that's going to take that judgment from his hand and make us make a change in our own. That's what it's all about anyway. It's making that change in our own. Yeah, everybody, they do things every day. We all do. You know, none exempt, none whatsoever. We can go out of here today and fall flat on our face before the sun falls, before the sun goes down. But it's only by the grace of God. Let us give others that grace that he has given us. So we don't have to go through that. So when we say examine himself, when he's telling us to examine himself, each and every one of us, let's don't take that lightly. Yeah, everybody else we examine them. Well, they got 6 more days. We can get back to them tomorrow. But let's do that for us today. Because that's going to be the only thing. Sometimes we're the only thing standing between God and salvation. Here's us examining other people. Make this thing a little bit more personal. Because God is dealing with all of us. Whether we like it or not, whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, yeah, he speaks to us. But a lot of times we don't see a lot of things that he's showing us. Why? Lord, we'll deal with that later. And before you know it, 15, 20 years down the road, guess what? We wonder why this thing is finally surfacing. Well, God tried to deal with us on it a long time ago. Other things got in the way. Now you're dealing with the same thing you could have dealt with 15, 20 years. So let's examine ourselves, partake of this table, and make an honest effort. When I was in rehab, it was step 4. It says, make a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Let's do that. Let's do it. It's nobody else's job for us to go around and do this. Let us do it.